Whoa, they're nice. They are really nice. Thought you couldn't do it wrong. You can do it wrong. Don't do it wrong. Make sure it's spinning freely inside the pump. Welcome back. Sorry, I'm still full-blown holiday mode because it's Christmas holidays at the moment. Today we are by far working on the worst part that was ever included into, I want to say the Stag, but the RB26. Everybody knows that the oil pump of the RB26 is notoriously weak. 1,000,001 jokes on forums about having glass gears and the gears are shit and blah 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 blah. Anyway, we have actually ripped the oil pump out. We actually did rip it out without a hoist, without an engine crane, without taking the motor out. All of the videos before this one will show you how we actually did that. Spoiler alert, it's so sketchy that if it's not your thing, then it's not for the faint-hearted. It's scary. In a perfect world, what you would do is you would get this and you would nuke it and just never talk to it again. Just go to someone like these guys, good guys, and just buy a whole new oil pump, which is high flow, got billet, everything, the whole thing's made of billet the world, right? That's great. The problem with that is, because they're a high flow, when you go high flow, then you'll also need to do restrictors in the head, and then you should also be looking at a head drain as well, because you're just gonna have so much oil up there. And on top of all of that, you should also be looking at an extended sump, because that is the new pump is going to just suck your sump dry, and then you. So as a little interim, the go-to fix is these guys, and what these are billet oil gears. So same capacity pump, same OEM pump. These fit in the OEM pump, and they're literally just made of billet steel, rather than the little paper mache ones that they put in there from factory. As you can see, I made a little start, which is exciting. To do this, you're gonna need one of these. And this is non-negotiable. And I truly mean non-negotiable. I started off with screwdrivers, and ask me how I know that you need one of them. What this does is, obviously if you don't know, long story short, as you push down on it, so you hit this with a hammer, this twists. You can't really see that twist there? So you're going constantly, and that will back it out. That's the only way to do it. Don't even bother trying to do it by hand, because it's game over. I'm going to replace all of these with Allen key heads, because that's what that should have done in the first place. That's how we're going to do it. We're going to take this backing cover off, and then I believe there's a little spring or something in here as well. We'll just rip into it. Last one, and it's the one that I tried to get antsy on, so yeah, she's not doing what I want to do. Are you joking me? Wow, how good. How good is that? I love that. Love it. just put this back on. It does, it's there and it gets going. You can get some good torque on it. It's a bit of peace of mind that it's actually got something half decent in there and not some of my work. Like anything else I'd be fine with, but this oil pump ain't coming back out unless the engine's coming out. I did just run the tap through all of them and it actually ended up coming up really good. Next up we have this, which is, I think it's the flow valve. There's a couple springs in there, so we crack this, take this out just to give it a good clean out, and then we can clean the whole thing out and then reassemble. Just gave it a full rinse out, air hosed everything as well as actual like hose with water, just to rinse every gallery out, clean the whole thing out, stick it in the oven for like half an hour, and now it completely is dry. So still very hot, can't touch it. One thing I will just touch on, the outer ring has that, I want to say like that hexagonal shape, like it's got that hard edge on it. And the new ones have that waveform sort of look. I have no idea whether that's better or worse, but these are notoriously shit, these are notoriously good. One thing I will say though, these two faces that join to the crank, here and here, those drive faces, and it's the same on this one. It's like for Nissan to do that, maybe this is common, maybe that's a normal drive for an oil pump. But I'm just sitting there going like you've got 360 degrees of surface here, and you decide to chamfer two pissy little faces and just call it a day. That's not good.
The next morning.
Alright, so we are back, baby, and I've made like a nice little clean area. Before you want to tackle this, you want to go to your local bolt and bearing shop and get some M6 1mm pitch countersunk heads. These are high tensile. That there. So got that Allen key drive head. The other ones have got the Phillips head. That's junk. These are actually high tensile as well, just because that's what he had. They're like $1 each. So I've got a few spares, a little bit of Loctite on them, and then bolt them in there. So now we will get our new billet gears out, oil everything up, and assemble. So here we go. Whoa, they're nice. They are really nice. So, little update. Once it was situated there, it wasn't turning. And I feel like that. So that's how it's meant to sit, which is great. That's all good and well. But I feel like it's pretty important for an oil pump to be able to turn. And this one, it like chokes up. It like doesn't want to turn nicely anyway, and I feel like that should sit there and do its thing now. And it's not like it's catching on, yeah, I don't know, it's not like it's catching on like a bit of debris or something. It's like, it feels like the gears are like properly fighting against themselves.
16 paranoia-filled days later.
Thanks to a trusty Facebook post, was this outer gear is directional. And not directional as in which way it actually spins, but which face needs to be up. In this particular case, there is there's riding on this side. It actually needs to be face down like that. So, one last full coverage of oil, and we will seal it up like so, like that. And now, before it was binding up, now nice, so nice, very very nice. You can even see it. Oh, that's so sick. You can see it working. You can see it sucking the oil. Ah, cool. My oil pump pumps oil. Yes. Shout out to Jez from DVS Tuning because he probably just saved my motor's life. Putting poster on there. I think these go between like 2.5 and 3 foot-pound, which is like 4 Newton meters. Beep. 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 I've never been so stressed in my life. Nice. Yeah. Sweet as. So she's doing her thing. So this is, again, you can only sort of, well, I say again, but I almost fucked up the other thing. So this is our little stopper which sits down and in the bottom, which is actually what controls the flow. So just for the sake of the argument, little spring sits inside, big spring. Okie dokie, because she's going to be tough to get on the threads. See? It got a little bit hairy in the middle there towards the end. I genuinely nearly assembled the oil pump with the outer ring backwards because I thought you couldn't do it wrong. You can do it wrong, don't do it wrong. Make sure it's spinning freely inside the pump. Disassembling your old one, go and buy this tool. There's no question about it. Even with the tool, it bites down. It bites down on the edges of each like turning face and like pretty much makes them a one-use item. Like you wouldn't want to put them in. So this is now fully assembled with our new gears inside, high tensile Allen head bolts on the top, and then that's just the clutch alignment tool. I'll just put it in now. As you can see, nice and turny. So that is it for oil pump. Hopefully fix a lot of the problems with the RB oiling system without spending $20,000. Now we are finally putting it all back in, so awesome, very excited to finally get rid of this setup. If you guys are new here and you just wanted to know how to do this, then I hope this taught you something. If you're following along on the build, that's wicked. If you just wanted to see that an oil pump can be taken out of the car with the engine still in, then we've obviously also proved that. So anyway, we will see you on the next one. Bye.
Ever since you shut the door on everything we knew, you're too late for love, feeling your true love, feeling on love, feeling your true love,